All right, my beautiful people, thanks so much for tuning in to the Wealthy, Healthy, Happy Show. I'm your host, ERGJ, Certified Financial Educator, and we are going through the Law of Consistency. It's a book. It's a law in the book of the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by John C. Maxwell. You see that there. 15 Laws of Invaluable Growth by John C. Maxwell. So we're on law number 5, and we're actually on day number 4. Quick recap, law number 1 was the law of intentionality. You need to know where you want to go. You don't know where you want to go, any road will lead you there. So you need to know where you want to go. Law number 2, the law of awareness. Be aware of your surroundings and be aware of those that can mentor you and help you along the way. Law number 3, the law of the mirror. What do you see when you look in the mirror? Hopefully you see phenomenal. Hopefully you see great. Hopefully you see excellence. Hopefully you see supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. What do you see when you look in the mirror? And law number 4, the law of reflection. Capture the moment. Capture the moment. Don't be frustrated. Be fascinated all day long. Hey, now we're into law number 5. Law number 5, the law of consistency. And we're talking about consistent action breeds success. We got our co-host here, Mr. Pat. Mr. Pat is in the building. How are you today, sir?
Better than phenomenal.
Better than phenomenal. That's what I'm talking about. Better than good, better than phenomenal. Doing absolutely great and phenomenal. The Wealthy, Healthy, Happy Show. So here's the deal, guys. We started talking about this yesterday. We started talking about why or how to improve. What you may need to improve and why you might need to improve it. And so we talked about this yesterday, knowing your why and understanding if your why is big enough. So we asked like 7 questions for you to determine if your why is big enough. And hopefully you did some reflection on those yesterday. If you didn't catch it, guess what? I just put the link in the comments below on how you can catch up on all of our episodes. Yeah. So of course you can just click on my name and watch the replays. You can just go to the YouTube, do that. So, but it's a principle called the compound effect that was written by Darren Hardy. And he said that it's the principle of reaping huge rewards from a series of small, smart choices. Reaping huge rewards from a series of small and smart choices. So hopefully each and every day, today when you wake up, you're going to be making some small and some smart choices, right? And it's funny because sometimes even in the morning, you got to make a choice, right? I know for me, today was, one of those mornings I had to make a choice, right? The choice was, do I just lay in bed and stay warm or do I get up and get going? And sometimes that's a choice that you just have to make. Are you going to get up and get going? It's not always easy. You get comfortable. It might get cold. You got the heat on. You got the covers on. You got the pillow feeling good. But sometimes you really have to make that choice that you're going to get up and get going. Get up and get going. Pat.
Well, you have to remember, a lot of people have alarm clocks. Evan has an opportunity clock. His alarm reads in the morning, opportunity starts.
Absolutely. Today is the day for opportunity. And so we're going to be talking about today. First, we're going to finish up right here in the law of consistency with the knowing when you are supposed to improve, knowing when you're supposed to improve. So the final piece of the puzzle is the question of when. When do you need to improve? So the obvious answer, right, is like right now. Like there's no waiting on improving. We want to improve like right now. So sometimes you got to say that. Like everybody put in the comments below, right now. Right now, that's the best time. I mean, why wait? Why wait? Right? Here's the thing. We act like tomorrow is promised when we know that tomorrow isn't promised. Right? But we act as though it is. We expect us to have it tomorrow, but what I'm saying is, man, do what you can get done today. That way you don't have to think about it tomorrow. Tomorrow could be a fresh new set of thoughts, and you done took care of the thoughts from yesterday. Right now. Pat.
When is now going to be the right time?
So, yes, when is now going to be the right time? Look at that. Have a superior day. That's what I'm talking about. Superior service and have a superior day. So the quote was this. It said, you will never change your life until you change something you do daily. You will never change your life until you change something that you do daily. Consistent action breeds success. And we got to start getting into consistent, positive, smart choices so we can change our life. Your life won't change until you do. Your life won't change until you do. I was listening to Michael Jackson this morning. I don't know what it's called, Man in the Mirror, right? He said the choice is clear. If you want to make the world a better place, just look in the mirror and make a change. It's up to us. The world is waiting on us. I want you guys to understand that. The world is waiting on us. We're not waiting on the world. So for some reason, we think that the government is going to make things better. We think that, the lower taxes is going to make things better. We think that, the sun or the rain or the weather is going to make things better. No, it's up to us to make the world better. We are what is made up of society. We have to live by and play by their rules or whatever the case may be. But guess what? You can become a better person each and every day. Absolutely, you can. It's a choice. It's a choice to grow. And so this show is all about daring you to grow. And I dare you to grow today. Pat.
So you have to ask yourself, do folks just act a certain way around you? No. What's happening is you're attracting certain types of folks.
Woo! You are attracting. So here's the deal, guys. Don't blame me for the type of people that you're attracting in your life. Don't blame me. Don't blame anybody else other than the person that you have become. And I think we had this conversation before, Pat, how some people they'll say, for some reason, I keep attracting this type of man. Raquel, yes. Right now. Right now. You got something to say right now. It's 6 o'clock. They say, for some reason, I keep attracting this type of person, this type of man, this type of woman. This is the type of woman I keep dating. For some reason, I just can't find the good men or good women. Newsflash. It's not them. It's you. I hate to tell you guys, it's not them. It's you. When you change, then your whole world will change. When you change, then your whole world will change. Pat, I can't go. Raquel, I'm calling you. Please answer the phone. You said, call me when I need a friend. I'm calling you right now, Raquel. There you go. There she is. Woo. Woo. Hey.
Hey. Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
Bon-
So, Miss Raquel, I know you got some things to talk about with this. I know you got some things to say here. Are you drinking your mug of tea? Or
Vodka. It's a big mug of vodka. Good morning, happy people, wealthy, happy, healthy people. I feel like I'm the guinea pig host right here because I'm learning from everybody that sits in these seats. And I had a conversation with Evan offline, and I was talking about I can't describe what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. I think I've discovered through this show that I am multi-talented. I have several avenues and things that I can do, and it keeps coming back to being like a strategist or some kind of fixer. So if I'm able to define it, then I can put it out there and I can begin to package it and sell it. And then what's funny, even without having it fully defined, it's just a matter of finding a title for it. It's becoming clearer. Like I can see how I can do more for more organizations. I can actually start to, write plans and see things out. One of the seeds that you planted was that I am helping an organization, become better. And I started thinking more about this organization and planning it. And I did ask permission for this organization to give me more access to their social media to allow me to do this. And as a result, I got like we want to make you, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to put together a plan for this organization. Here's what you guys are waiting for me to do for you. Okay. So while you guys are looking this over and reviewing this, I'm going to move on to the next organization because I have people in line. Right now, I'm in this period where I see what my schedule is for my money earning background schedule. I see what my days are that are open. I keep looking at my calendar so I can have consistency and I can schedule appointments. I'm trying to just let everybody get on board because what's going to happen is when I quit my job, I was in such like this. I was like, I need money. I took every client, and I got burnt really bad by one client. But now I'm in a position because I know I need to develop capital. I'm learning how to run my business. I'm going to get to a point where I can pick and choose. So I'm trying to give the organizations that are already in my life the opportunity to take up these seats, as you will. But if they keep telling me no, I know I see what it looks like to make money. I know the lifestyle that I want to live. And it's just like with all your shows that I participate, I just want to be in a position to give. I'm aiming for significance. I'm in survival mode right now. I'm aiming for significance. I want to be significant. So I'm just like, I have 5 spots. I've sent out 4 proposals. I have the proposal. All I got to do is dear such and such, insert company name here, and I'm just going to move on. That's what I have to say for now.
And it's interesting because for a time, these companies were waiting on you.
Yeah.
But now you're waiting on them. It's a different, you know what I'm saying? It's a difference of position of power, right? You put yourself in a position of leverage and power because now you sent them. You hit the ball over the net. Finally. You finally got your racket out and you hit the ball over the net and you're waiting on them to hit the ball back. But guess what? While you're waiting on them, you're finding other people to play tennis with.
Right.
Pat. Well, what I'd like to add is, and it's not only Raquel, but all of us here, you are unlimited. The limits you have are the ones you set yourself. You are unlimited. You can do more than you ever imagined you can do. And you start by changing the way you think, because you are 6 inches away from fixing anything in your life.
Woo!
6 inches. Now, that may be pretty dense.
I've been waiting to do this all morning long, guys. I got a message from a famous guy, man. His name is Mr. Beatles, and Mr. Beatles is going to be returning on Monday, guys. So I got to do this just for Mr. Beatles. Hey, can you guys hear it? It's the millions and the millions of Mr. Beatles fans chanting his name. Everybody put in the comments below, Beatles. Beatles. I can't even speak. Beatles. Finally, Mr. Beatles will be back on Monday. Mr. Wealthy, Healthy, Happy himself. Beatles. The millions and the millions of the Beatles fans. All right. I had to get that out. Oh, I've been holding that in all morning. All right, guys. So here's the deal. Yes. All right. So here's the deal. And the book says it like this. It says, maybe it's time to stop setting goals. Maybe it's time to stop setting goals. Now, I know that sounds pretty interesting. Like, what do you mean? I thought we were supposed to be goal-setting people. And he said, well, instead of being goal-conscious, we want to focus on being growth-conscious. Instead of being goal-conscious, we want to focus on being growth-conscious. And here's what we're saying. We're daring you to grow. Now, here's the difference. A goal-conscious person is a person that focuses on a destination. A growth-conscious person is a person that focuses on the journey. Some people need to write this down. A goal-conscious person is someone who focuses on the destination. A growth-conscious person is someone who focuses on the journey. Mr. Pat, talk to us a little bit about focusing on the journey.
Well, and I was kind of reviewing in my head yesterday after the show we did yesterday. And, when you have goals, they have deadlines. But when your why is big enough, your deadline becomes a timeline. And your timeline is until. The timeline is until. It's not a date. It's until. So when your why is big enough, it's not a deadline. It's until.
Woo! Goodness gracious. Until, man. When does a baby stop trying to learn how to walk? It doesn't. It keeps trying until. And I was saying this yesterday. I remember, man, I used to play basketball, back when you was younger, playing the playground, right? And I wouldn't stop playing until I won. I would play from sun up to sundown until I got me a W. Until. And I know there's many of you can remember back to your childhood that you just wouldn't stop until. So clearly I'm telling you guys to write in the comments below until. You guys still ain't written it. I guess I got to tell you, write in the comments below until. Don't stop until. Where's my voice at today? Until. Maybe I need to drink me some coffee. Until. All right. A goal-conscious person, being goal-conscious motivates you and others. But being growth-conscious matures you and others. Being goal conscious motivates you and others. Being growth conscious matures you and others. Raquel, you want to talk to us about maturing yourself and others?
Okay, so the difference between motivate versus maturing. So I guess what popped into my head is I'm thinking about a cheerleader versus, I guess, a coach. This is coming to me right now. A cheerleader exists during a game, while you're getting something done, and this game is going to end. It has 4 quarters. You know, when you have the ball, they say they do offensive cheers. When the other team has the ball, you do defensive cheers. But a coach is always there. The coach is actually on the field where the cheerleader is kind of behind. We got this ball. We go and do it. Oh, I'm sorry. I went to a black school. We got this ball. We're going to do it. And the coach is right there in your ear, specifically calling your name. And the cheerleader is being, generalized and talking for the team. Sometimes the cheerleader even turns their back on you while you're playing and talks to the crowd just to rev them up. So the difference between that is a cheerleader motivates you. A coach will mature you. So it's about having, people who are close to you, who understand you, who want to get to you personally. They're going to foster your growth. But it's good to have people along the way to motivate you. But it's better to have people along the way to help you mature. One of the things that you brought up when you talked about goals versus growth, I just want to touch on that a little bit. I'm sorry. I saw this quote, and it was like, the moment you have a backup plan, you admitted that you started to fail. So I posted this on a website, and I was like, okay, guys, the moment you have a backup plan, you admit you start to fail. People will see what it is that they want to see. People immediately started thinking, well, you can always have a plan A, plan B. I didn't say have another plan. Another plan is like me. I have 17 job ideas that I can launch at once. But the moment I started to think, well, this one job, plan A, is not going to work. So let me make sure that I accept every customer that I can. Let me make sure, just panic about it not happening. That's having a backup plan because you think this first plan isn't going to work. You can have your several plans. But it was funny to me how people just immediately start saying, they start finding the quote, if plan A doesn't work, then you go plan B, plan C. But those have to be different plans.
So you were fascinated.
I was very fascinated. I was very fascinated. But I think I'm going to go back into the group today and remind them, like, this is what I was talking about. That it's not about having a plan A or a plan B or several dreams, or what as a woman, when you have an idea and an idea comes to fruition and you're like, oh my God, I don't have any ideas, you get pregnant again. Just have another idea. Nurse it, wound it, have multiple children. Don't just have the one child, have several children, you know what I mean? And keep having ideas and keep blossoming. Because that's one of the things that happened to me. I was like, well, what am I going to do now? Have another idea. This time, don't single parent your idea. Involve your spouses, you guys, involve other people, bring the grandparents in, whatever. So that's what I'm going to say. So I just kind of touched on motivating and maturing and not having a backup plan because you're already admitting to failure. And then just also, continuing to impregnate yourself with multiple ideas.
And I would also say when you talk about cheerleader and coach, a coach will help you, will give you strategy.
Yes.
Cheerleader just pep you up.
I like that. I'm going to write it down.
Hey, Mr. O, that's all I'm going to say is Miss Dr. O, how are you today, sir? Omotasho?
Oh, hi.
Yeah, I'm calling you. I'm calling you 007, man. I'm going to call you 007. It's okay with you. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm just, I'm fine. Just in the train, trying to see what's on live and just joining because this looks quite interesting to what I need to know. So that's why I joined.
Okay, fantastic.
And I guess you guys are having a good time discussing. So I just want to
All right, Dr. O, we're having a few issues with the audio there. So, yeah, we're going to keep moving here. Pat, I'm sorry, what was that? Did you have something to say? I saw you raise your hand, I think. No?
Raquel.
All right. Anyway, all right. So growth conscious or goal conscious, guys. So the next difference between being goal conscious and growth conscious is seasonal. Growth conscious is lifelong. Goal conscious is seasonal. Growth conscious is lifelong. Pat, anything to say about that?
Well, like I said, one of the things we have to start is working on ourselves. And as we start working on ourselves, we realize there's literally nothing, if you focus on, you can't do. What one man can do, another can do. If someone else has ever accomplished that, then you can learn it because they have documented it somewhere. It's in a book. I mean, it's kind of sad, all the money spent on libraries and everyone drives past them. It's a great landmark. But, very few people seem to actually go to libraries to actually do what they're supposed to be there for. But there's such a wealth of information of others. And, like we said, people who are growing mentally and spiritually are readers. They take the time to read the books. And the reality is people don't read books.
So become a lifelong learner. And that's where you can work. You can have the growth consciousness. I'm always learning something new, and it doesn't necessarily just have to come from books. I want to make sure we clear that. You got to be a knowledge seeker. Knowledge comes from people that are more knowledgeable than you, right? So it may not be a book that you read, but it'd be a book that you experience, which is called their life. You can be a book of you'll read the book of their life by experiencing their life. Obviously, we have audio books. We got smartphones, and I always ask this, are you doing anything smart with it? Right? Many people got a smartphone just to play games, but there's other people that got smartphones to do business. There's other people that use the smartphone to read Kindle. What are you using your smartphone for? You got it, but are you doing anything smart with it? Ask yourself that. I mean, this little thing here in the palm of my hand, I got the whole world in my hand right here. Access to anything that I want. But the question is, what am I using it for? What am I using it to access? What am I using it to seek? What am I using it to ask for? What doors am I knocking with this that gives me access to the entire world? You got a smartphone, but are you doing anything smart with it? See, growth conscious people are doing something smart with their smartphone each and every day. They're saying, hey, I'm not just going to use it like the rest of the crowd uses it, because guess what? The crowd is broke. And we're not broke. We're wealthy, we're healthy, and we're happy. I'm going to use it to find this workout plan that I know I need to go on. I'm going to use it to find this diet that I want to take on. I'm going to use it to make sure that it enhances my wealth, it enhances my health, and it enhances my happiness. Now, I'm not saying you don't every once in a while play a game. That's not what I'm saying at all. But my question is, you got it in your hand. It's a smartphone, but are you doing anything smart with it? Yeah. Goal conscious versus growth conscious. So here's the next principle. A goal consciousness, it challenges you. It challenges you. Being goal conscious challenges you, which is great. But being growth conscious, it changes you, which is super great. Raquel, you got anything to say about challenging versus changing?
Yeah. I guess when you're challenged, I don't know, I'm getting kind of stuck here. I'm a vision. I can see what it is that I want to say, but the words aren't coming to me yet. I am stumped. I don't know. Oh my God. Am I going to lose my seat? I will say, it isn't the journey. It's the climb. And then sometimes you have to stop and just kind of, see where you are. Like there's a story about a woman who she had 2 children and she lost custody of one of those children. And she spent a lot of time focusing on how she can get this other child back. And in the meantime, she has this other kid kind of sitting there wondering, why, she would bake a certain kind of cookie for the one kid, but the other kid liked the cookies but never said anything. So she stopped baking these cookies because she was spending most of her time trying to hire a lawyer, trying to figure out how she can get this person back, trying to educate herself, trying to align herself with things. In the meantime, this kid was like, why you don't make oatmeal cookies anymore? And then it just hit this woman one day. I'm focusing on the destination of trying to get this child, this one child back, when I have a child right here that loves me just as much. So let me focus my energy on this one kid and make sure, the kid that is around, and make sure this kid gets what it needs. So that's the whole thing about, you have to kind of appreciate what's in front of you, stop and smell the roses, because if you become so focused on the future, you're going to overlook, the opportunity to nurture and have something great.
Absolutely. Hey, Joe, how are you, sir?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's morning where you are, because we all over the world, so we don't never know where everybody is. Thanks so much for joining.
Of course, wouldn't miss it for the world.
Oh, fantastic, man. So we're talking about the difference between a goal consciousness and a growth consciousness. And again, for those that are just joining, we're going through the book, The 15 Laws of Invaluable Growth by John C. Maxwell. We're in law number 5, which is the law of consistency. Consistent action breeds success. And so right now we're talking about goal consciousness versus growth consciousness. And Joe, here's the next one. I got this one for you since you just joined us. See, we're going to put you on the spot. It says goal consciousness, it stops when a goal is reached. Growth consciousness keeps you growing beyond the goal. What are your thoughts on that?
So I see it, a goal is merely a short-term accomplishment, whereas what was the second distinction? A growth
consciousness keeps you growing.
That's a mindset. Growth is a mindset.
Woo!
Right? Versus an action like, say that I want to be charitable, right? So I drop $10 into the basket at church. Versus, I think about how can I stretch myself to maybe create a foundation that always gives to the church, instead of just that. Hey, I did my thing. I did my thing one time, right? And I'm done. I check it off my list. It's like I check the box, right? But if I'm always thinking, how can I contribute? How can I be bigger? How can I make a larger impact? That's the difference.
Wow. Hey, I need to see like 300 props right now. Everyone in the comments below to write, growth is a mindset. Growth is a mindset. So whereas the goal is an actionable item, something that you can complete and it's done, that's great. We want to, we want to have some goals, check it off your checklist, right? But growth is a mindset. It's ever continual. Wow. This is why we do this show. We dare you to grow. And what we're saying is we're daring you to change your mindset. We're daring you to change from being a person that's just going to check things off your list to having a list that's never ending. Absolutely love it. Pat, you got anything to add to that?
Well, and as you grow, you realize there's more to grow into. It's like you go as far as you can, and from that vantage point, you can actually see more. And then you go as far as you can, and then you can actually see even more. There's more there. There's more for all of us.
Absolutely, man. So we're talking about being consistent. And so being consistent, not just being consistent, we want to be consistently productive. Consistently productive. I mean, all of us that are here, everyone that's connected, everyone will be watching the show at some point in time. What I'm saying is I believe that we have attracted who we are becoming. And in case you don't know, we're the #1 network, #1 marketplace for growing people. So you can always check out our website, whatthehealthyhappy.net. But we're talking about growing and being consistent in our production. And we're going to see the harvest. We're going to reap that harvest from small, smart choices. So there's this quote that said, the great composer does not set work because he inspired, but becomes inspired because he is working. The great composer does not set to work because he is inspired. That may start you out. That might get you going, but becomes inspired because he is working. And I know that for some of you guys, I need to say that to you guys right now. You're waiting to get inspired. You're waiting on some outside influence. You're waiting on some motivation to just get you out of bed this morning. And what I'm saying is when you are doing your work, and when I say you're doing your work, we talked about the difference the other day about a job and your work. Your work is your mission. When you're operating in your mission, you wake up ready to go to work. You're not waiting to be inspired to go to work, but you know that while you're working, you'll be inspired. How many of you guys have done some stuff in your life, you realize that while you're doing it, more inspiration comes? You're like, oh man, my purpose was to teach, right? So then as I teach more, I get more inspired. I don't have to get inspired to teach. I teach to become inspired. I don't know. Some of you, I don't know if you're getting that. Like, I think we're accustomed to, hey, I have to be motivated to start. No, I'm telling you, start and you'll get motivated. Start and you'll be inspired. Now, obviously, we're talking about that place that is your work, that place that is your purpose. And I continue to say this, there's power and there's profit in your purpose. Find out what it is that you've been called to do. Find out why you find, there's two things that you come to understand. You want to understand, obviously when you were born, then why you were born. Why are you here? What are you willing to die for? And I'm telling you that as you get busy in your work, you will find inspiration. Raquel.
Yeah, just to kind of touch on what the growth versus goal is, you make it a lifestyle. Instead of just checking it off of a list, you turn it into a way of doing things. I think, when you earlier you want the big house, you have all these dreams, but then you start to realize that all you need is just enough. Like, really, what are you going to do with 7 cars, Jay Leno, or whatever? Like, what are you going to do are you going to drive? I mean, yeah, okay, you're collecting them. Give that money away. And if you're comfortable and you're eating, just keep opening foundations. You know what I mean? Just keep doing other things. Turn it into a lifestyle, as opposed to, you check some things you can check off of a list, but then you turn. I like what the guy that was in the seat earlier said about, you give to an organization because you want to help them out, and then think about how you can develop a foundation that becomes this organization. I mean, yesterday I was super duper excited to get to my job so that I can get it over with, so I can come home and I can get to work. My list started to grow yesterday of the things that I was going to do once I came home and took that uniform off. I actually, before I went to work, I organized my entire office. And when I got up this morning, my home office, I came in here and I was like, yeah, I have everything kind of checked out. I know you don't like business cards, but I have a little file cabinet that I put business cards away. Sometimes I get confused. Do I put it away by the business, or do I put it away by the industry, or do I put it away by the individual? Like, would Evan go under E, or would he go under F for finances or whatever? But that's just an aside. So I leave my business card lined up until I can send everybody an email. So I have like 6 business cards sitting here that I collected from an event, and I keep them out and, just say, hey, this, we met at such and such event, blah, blah, blah. And then I take the card and I file it. They're here. They're all organized. I got up. I'm ready to go. I thought about what I was going to wear. It's just this connection that you and I have, I don't know. I'm growing. I'm changing. I love it. I'm in a different spot. I was a waiter. I guess and I wasn't mature. So I was motivated, but I was still kind of waiting on my mommy, like I was still kind of being like a child and looking for someone to help me out. But I had it all along inside of me. I mean, I actually gave my jewels, but I had someone say, Raquel, we want you to work on this project. And I was like, okay, well, here's my ideas. And they were like, okay, well, I'm going to give you what I want you to say. So I waited for this person to give me what it is that they wanted to say. But this was the type of person who was telling everybody to wait. I'm going to give you. And then now I'm sitting here and I've missed at least 3 months, with the person I'm talking about, of money earning opportunities because I'm waiting for this person to tweak my PowerPoint presentation. So I decided I created the PowerPoint presentation. It was mine. You know what I mean? Let me just take it back. Let me write it out. And then how am I going to know whether or not my webinar is successful if I don't do a webinar? You do one and then get the feedback from it. You know, and get the feedback and grow from it, and don't beat yourself up if it fails miserably. If you don't hear because everyone's on this whole thing like earn money while you sleep. If you don't wake up and your PayPal account is not going, crazy, tweak your presentation. Make it a lifestyle of getting better. Continue to perfect yourself. Be an ever evolving human. I mean, we're not cave people anymore. You know what I mean? We're beyond whatever we were if you believe in evolution. Blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera.
So here's the deal, man. She just says a great, something great that I heard. And it was, and I said this, I think 2 days ago, I said, don't just be a person that's running away from something that you hate. Be a person that's running towards something that you love. So she mentioned that, hey, it'd be easy to be like, I just can't wait to get off work. Well, why? Because I'm running towards, I can't wait to get off my job. But why? Because I'm running towards my work. So when I get done with my job, I'm going to work. You get that? So some of you guys are in that place. You're at that place where you can't wait to get off of your job. But I'm saying, hey, don't be waiting to get off your job. Be looking forward to going to work. What is your work? What is it that you are doing right now that's going to be part-time and then eventually is going to become full-time? Pat, any last words for the peeps?
And turn that into your mission.
Make it your mission.
Make that your mission. So your mission's going to carry you past the temporary, the momentary, the struggle that you go through. So what is your mission? And every business, every person has a mission. Sadly, some of them don't realize how bad their mission is because they haven't actually taken the pause to write out and look at it and analyze their own mission. And now that we're working together, we're all learning that what is my mission? Where am I heading? What am I heading towards? And when you start heading towards something, you don't need the headscarf in the morning. You get up early and you get dressed.
Now, Pat, I am going to say this now. I'm going to need to have wealthy spelled right correctly tomorrow now.
I'm sorry.
It's wealthy. Wealthily.
All right, Miss Raquel, any last words for the peeps?
Yeah, thank you, Pat. I just want to say when you're focused, when you're growth focused, you wake up before the tasks start. I mean, everyone else that wants a service from you they're thinking 9 to 5. So you can't think 9 to 5. I mean, I've been in the entertainment industry. I acted on the small stage in Philadelphia. The show starts at 8. The curtain opens at 8 o'clock. The actors, you can't show up at 8 o'clock. You got to put your makeup on. You got to be ready. And the same thing happens when you go see a Broadway show. They close those doors. When you go see The Lion King, you're going to miss that whole beautiful entrance of the Circle of Life. When the doves and everything are coming down the aisle, if you get there at 8:30, and then you're going to have people like looking at you like, you open the doors, the light's going to come on the back, the actor might look a different way, you're going to mess up the flow. So the show starts at 8, which means you have to get up before 8 o'clock. You have to be ready. Thus, I almost threw on a hair scarf, but I had time. You know what I mean? I had time to kind of get it together and make sure that I was ready. It's like, it's the mentality of stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Like, I refuse to put my stamp on anything that's unorganized anymore. If you're going to involve me in it, it's going to be detailed, and it's going to, because I don't want people to be like, oh, she did this. Oh, she did that. Yeah. I want them to walk away and be like, oh, she did that. And another thing too, I just want to add, I used to be in management, and I remember the first time when I became before, when I was a worker and the boss was coming, and they was like, oh, here he come. Everybody straighten up. The opportunity when I became the here she come, it was weird. You see, you're walking up to the people and they're like, here she come. And then people start straightening up stuff. And you're like, I'm the here she comes. I'm getting back to being the, oh, here she comes. And then I was like, oh yeah, me. Yeah. You'll get it together. Like, there's me, here she comes, So I am getting ready to step into my here she comes. Here she comes. Oh my God, let's get our stuff together. As opposed to me being the, oh, here comes something.
Yes, be the here she comes or be the here he comes in the life and the lives of others, man. So here's the deal, guys. We are here Monday through Friday, 7 a.m., 30 minutes of motivation, inspiration, whatever you want to call it. This is the number one marketplace for growing people, and you need to get connected. I'm glad that you guys are here today, and hopefully you'll be here tomorrow because we're going to close this show out right now. And so here's the deal. Have a wonderful, phenomenal day. Be wealthy, be healthy, be happy, and we're out.